talking for a long time, and then it came. Yeah, I've just been stalling you.
Good evening and welcome to Midnight Madness 2008! My name is Colin Geddes, and I'm a programmer at Midnight Madness. And I'm not going to break into a little dance, no. I already got, kind of my friends were teasing me when I was talking to the director of Detroit Middle City, asking him how he did his little sissy walk there. No more of that. Anyways, how many people were here last night for Not Quite Hollywood? So you guys know what Australia is capable of when it comes to genre films and thrillers and blood and guts and just unique, sharp films. So we're carrying that theme on. And just to give you, I'm trying to explain, people always ask me how I find these films and where these films come from. And so I'll give you the story on this one. Back years ago, it's actually kind of the way that I got into the film festival. I used to do a fanzine before the internet on Asian films. And back then, you'd write your film fanzine and you trade it with all these different people around the world. And there was a magazine that I got called Fatal Visions from Australia. And so I hadn't seen an issue of it in ages, but I corresponded with the editor, and I guess it must have been around March or so, I got an email out of the blue from the editor of Fatal Visions, and it was like, hey, is this the email for Colin Geddes? I haven't heard from, talked to you for a while, but I just want to let you know, a friend of mine directed a film, you should really check it out. And so I was put into contact with John Hewitt, the director of tonight's film, Acolytes. We met up in Cannes at that point. I hadn't seen the film, and we chatted, and it turned out that he was actually the graphic designer for the magazine, and we had a great conversation about films and stuff, and then when I finally got to see it, I knew that it was perfect for Midnight Madness. And it's his fourth film, and I think this is the one which is going to break out, and I'd like to introduce you to John Hewitt, the director of Acolytes.
Yeah, I mean, I worked on my film, so getting to give you a call.
How did that happen?
I just called him up and said, you know, because Midnight Madness was I guess the ideal forum for us. It's the thing that I was really hoping to be able to score. I've been very familiar with the programming over the last 21. It's the 21st birthday.
21st year, yeah. 21st birthday of Midnight Madness.
Of a sort of a 50-minute Australian film called Smoking With Your Golden. His name it was in the very first Midnight Madness. I think I got some reads on official selection. Yeah, so I was the publisher of Fatal Visions, and I also deal with graphic design, and Michael wrote it all. That was his magazine. But Michael's an old friend of mine, and I was calling him a few favours. So obviously he had something on you.
Unfortunately, there was a box of back issues of Fatal Visions which burned up in the Suspect fire. So
in the what?
In the Fire of Suspect video. It was a video store here in Toronto. So you're gonna have to email and order a Fatal Visions from Australia. But welcome to Midnight Madness. And what do you got there?
I got a digital print of, I've designed all the posters of the films that I've made, and I did this one as well. I pinched this from Darklight, Gary Hamilton, the sales agent for the film, was very kind to, and executive producer as well, was very kind to let us have it. It's got my palm print there, I've wrecked it a bit, but I figured, like, I've been to a couple of screens now, and I figured you guys need some free shit. There's no free shit here. So, no free shit. So we reckon we're going to give this poster away to the person who asks the coolest question after the film. And I think Colin's going to decide what that question is. Okay. But wait, there's more. Acolytes has got a pretty rockin' indie Aussie soundtrack, and I've got a sort of a pre-release burn of the soundtrack. And one more thing. This is one person who's going to get all this shit. Well, it's the coolest question in the Q&A. This is my personal 2 gig USB flash drive, and upon it is my oeuvre, trailers and features. My first film, a sort of an Ozploitation film from the late 80s called Bloodlust. It's the sort of film that makes turkey shoot look like Tarkovsky. My cop thriller from the mid-90s called Red Ball, which is a sort of a pre-Dogma, underground, cool, sort of controversial film. And the rough cut to the film that I was editing when Richard Stewart, the producer of the film, he's just there somewhere, there he is, and Penny Wall approached me to maybe get involved in Acolytes. So I put Dark Love Story aside and worked on Acolytes for a couple of years. And now I'm just finishing off the edit of Dark Love Story, but they're all on there as AVIs. So it's up to you.
It's got to be a cool question, not a weird, quirky question. Don't ask about what color underwear he's wearing. That's not cool.
I don't wear any underwear.
There you go.
I just like to say thanks, Colin, for giving us a gig here. It was a real thrill to get into this. Thank you.
We'll be back for Q&A. Thank you very much, Sean. And of course, there's more madness to come. Tomorrow we have the return of director J.T. Petty with his Western with Monsters, The Burrowers. Come and see The Burrowers. Really good. And then we have Martyrs, not a good first date film. Eden Log, French science fiction. On Friday we have the world premiere of Sexy Killer, the tagline being the mind of Hannibal Lecter, the wardrobe of Paris Hilton, and the last 30 minutes has zombies and chainsaws. And then of course, the last night on Saturday night, Wu-Tai kneecap to your forehead with chocolate by the director of On Back. Alright, thank you to our festival's lead sponsor, Bell, to our major sponsor, Royal Bank of Canada, and to our public supporters, the Government of Ontario and Telefilm Canada. Thank you to our remaining supporters for their generous donations to our annual campaign and the Bell Lightbox campaign. The Midnight Madness program is made possible through the generous sponsorship, no matter what crazy shit we put up here, of Space. Thank you very much, Space! A big thanks to our friends at Arclight Films for providing us with this films, and Arclight are the same people who brought us SPL with Sam Mohan. So thank you, Arclight. This film is eligible for the People's Choice Award. We want to remind you to turn off all your phones, Blackberries, just turn it off. Piracy is not cool. And I'm getting feedback from people going, if I hear another R in the theater, thanks a lot, Colin. All right. Get ready for more creepy, and again, this, like Dead Girl, tonight's film's about what you maybe shouldn't do when you find a dead body. Enjoy Acolytes.